Okay, so there are so many videos out there on sourdough baking, and quite honestly, it was very intimidating for me to dive into the sourdough world. Um, but I will say it's actually easier than I thought it was going to be. And it's actually really exciting too.
Welcome back to the Western Working Wife vlog. If you're new here, my name is Tia, and I'm here to show you my life hacks I utilize to shuffle shenanigans every week while I run a successful real estate business, remain a competitive barrel racer, and practice the art of homemaking for my growing family. I am not your typical social media influencer. I don't want to influence you at all, actually. I simply want to provide you inspiration in your daily life and show you that you can do it all and not lose your identity. You do not have to choose between having a career, chasing dreams, and being a homemaker. Alright, y'all, it was a busy, productive, and wild week as always. So let's kick it off with showing some houses. As I've told you before, it's never a dull moment. I was in a little bit of a fender bender on my way back from showing houses. I am okay though. My car just got a little scratched up. Someone changed lanes right into the side of me. The weather here in Texas was absolutely gorgeous this week, so me and my very pregnant barn kitty Shadow decided to soak up some sun down by the horses. She is feeling extra needy and lovey right now, as she's about to have them babies. Well, actually, the weather doesn't really know what it wants to do this time of year in Texas. So as you can see here, the weather is a little overcast as I get the tractor filled up and ready to work up the arena. The horses have been off for a week due to being sick, and now they are feeling better. So it's time to get everything ready and get the horses back in shape so we can hit some barrel races here soon. This week I'm going to take y'all through baking from start to finish a sourdough sandwich bread recipe that was sent to me by my friend Lane. I store my sourdough starter in the fridge because I don't bake with it all the time. So when I pull it out, you'll see it's got a little bit of a gray film over the top of it. That's totally normal. What you'll see me do here is go ahead and feed that starter so that I can get it ready to bake with. Alright, so after I've added some flour and some water to my starter, you'll see me just stir it up really good, and then I'll just let it sit on the counter while I start prepping the rest of the ingredients for this bread. And this is the consistency that you're looking for. It's basically like pancake batter. Once I get to this consistency, then I will set it on the counter and wait for it to rise. While waiting for the starter to rise, I will measure out 1,000 grams of flour and add it to my mixing bowl. And then I'm going to add in 110 grams of sugar. After that, I'm going to add in 4 teaspoons of salt. And then I'm going to go ahead and melt down 3 tablespoons of butter that I will end up adding in later. This next part the recipe didn't exactly call for, but because I started with all of my dry ingredients, I went ahead and just kind of shook it around, stirred it up really good so that everything mixed together well. Now it's time to come back to the starter to see if it rose, and it did. Now I think the starter looks ready, but I'm going to go ahead and double check it by doing a float test, where you just take a little bit of your starter and you drop it into some water and you see if it floats. And if it floats like it is here, then it's ready to bake with. So next, I'm going to go ahead and add 600 grams of warm water. And now is when we're going to go ahead and add that butter in. And then we'll add 130 grams of our sourdough starter. Now we'll mix it all together into a shaggy dough and let it sit for 30 minutes. While our dough is resting for 30 minutes, we're going to go ahead and feed the remainder of this sourdough starter and put it back on the counter, and then I will put it away in the morning when I bake this bread. So I'm not really that precise about how much I feed it when I'm going to just put it back in the fridge where I'm not planning to bake with it again. And so I just kind of dumped the last of what was in that bag of flour in and poured it in there, added a little bit of water, and then you just start stirring it up again. And since it's not going back in the fridge, this is when I go ahead and put the cloth cover back on it and let it sit on the counter overnight. Alright, when you come back to your dough to either do stretch and folds or kneading, whatever you decide to do with your dough, this recipe called for kneading it. Just don't forget to take your rings off because the dough tends to be kind of sticky and it gets everywhere. So basically you'll just knead the dough into a well-formed ball and then cover it and let it rest overnight. And you're just waiting for it to double in size. Alright, this is what it's supposed to look like. This is also why you put plastic in between your dough and the hand towel that you cover it with. You'll want to go ahead and oil up or butter up your baking pans. And you'll
want to go ahead and put some flour down to be like a buffer between the countertop and your dough. And don't forget to roll your rolling pin through the flour as well. And here's your reminder to take your ring off yet again. I went ahead and kind of got a coat of flour on my dough. And then now is when you're going to split this dough into 2 loaves. Then you'll use the rolling pin to go ahead and roll it into like kind of a rectangular shape. And then you'll roll the dough up to put it into your baking dish. And then for the second loaf, you'll go ahead and just repeat those steps. And might I add that I think it's absolutely awesome that this recipe is so easy to make and it makes 2 loaves. That is a double win. And then, oh, don't forget to put your ring back on. And then you'll set your loaves aside, cover them, and let them rise for 2 more hours. After they're done rising, then you will preheat the oven to 375 and bake them for 40 minutes. And there you have it, 2 beautiful, homemade, fresh sourdough loaves. They slice perfectly and taste amazing. Sharing is caring. I am taking a loaf of bread over to Miss Becky. She always gives me food at the fence. Now I am giving some back. And on my way back up to the house, I observed my Amazon driver being a very dedicated driver as he walked all the way up that driveway to make sure our packages were delivered inside the gate. Towards the end of my week, I was able to help some repeat clients and dear friends of mine close on their home and babysat their sweet little girl while they were signing. And then I drove to pick up our sweet girl. Come on, Birdie.
Come on, Birdie. Birdie.
Come on, Birdie.
Yeah. He's looking at me.
The streak.
Look at me.
Yeah.
He's looking for me.
He's looking for you, huh?
Yeah.
Say, come here, Birdie.
Come here, Birdie.
Come on, birds.
Come on, birds. Oh. Ew.
Is he peeing?
Yeah. He's peeing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that Shadow? Is she loving on you?
Uh-huh. He's rubbing.
Yeah.
Our dog's going. Our uncle is going.
Oh, there's Shadow, huh?
He's a two. He's a boy, huh?
She gonna have some babies.
He's gonna have some babies.
Yeah.
I got
Brush out. Brush
Yeah.
Is there a baby mommy here, huh?
Yeah, she's gonna be a mommy.
He's gonna baby mommy, huh?
Yeah.
He's gonna.
Remy and I ventured over to pick up our groceries that we ordered in bulk from As Your Standard. Keep watching to see everything that we got. I got 20 pounds of apples and ended up getting 5 pounds of all-purpose flour, 10 pounds of bread flour, and ended up getting 5 pounds of pinto beans as well. Then also ended up getting 3 different types of potatoes. And I also got a couple things of tomato juice, beef broth, vanilla extract, some chicken broth, as well as some frozen peaches, frozen blueberries, frozen green beans, and frozen strawberries, and 22 pounds of tomatoes. I ended up getting some cream cheese, broccoli, mozzarella cheese, sharp cheddar cheese, some mushrooms, and some heavy whipping cream. You'll notice that everything here says it is organic. That is what I love about As Your Standard. Everything is organic, and this was my first order, and I love how fresh everything looks. I will definitely be ordering from them again. Stay tuned and hit subscribe so you can learn some more beginner-friendly recipes that I'll be cooking up with these ingredients. These random rainstorms are definitely going to have me busy in the kitchen.